This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for January 30th, 2023. Your daily entertainment headlines, industry info, and everything rock. Dave Grohl has teamed up with Crown Royal for an upcoming Super Bowl commercial. Crown Royal, the top-selling Canadian whiskey brand in the United States, has released 2 previews of its commercial for the Super Bowl, featuring Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl. Created by the ad agency Anomaly and directed by Jake Scott, the Crown Royal spot should air during the third quarter of the game, which is set to take place on Sunday, February 12th. The senior VP for whiskeys at Diageo, Sophie Kelly, said Dave is a Crown Royal superfan and the perfect partner to spread a message of gratitude to the audience that is authentic to the brand. Members of Soulfly were presented with the key to the city by Albuquerque, New Mexico's mayor, Tim Keller. The band was in town on Saturday, January 28th at the launch pad. Keller also introduced Soulfly at the gig. The heavy metal mayor presented the band with the key to the city before the show. Keller has been photographed wearing Machine Head and Pantera hoodies, while also introducing bands on stage like Anthrax and Trivium. Guitarist and vocalist Tom Verlaine, who co-founded and fronted Television, has passed away at the age of 73. The band confirmed it on their official Twitter. Born Thomas Miller in Denville, New Jersey in 1949, Verlaine grew up listening to artists like the Rolling Stones and Miles Davis, eventually meeting future bassist Richard Hell in school, and by 1973, the two moved to New York City and started the band. Iron Maiden singer Bruce Dickenson, who has flown Iron Maiden around the world in their customized jumbo jet Ed Force One, commented on the news of the last Boeing 747 that was rolled off the assembly line, marking the end of the iconic aircraft program that revolutionized air transport for the last 50 years. Dickenson said, "On the ground, it's stately, it's imposing, and in the air, it's surprisingly agile. For a massive airplane, you can really chuck it around if you have to." He added, "The 747 is the most beautiful and easy plane to land. It's just like landing an armchair." Johnny Cash recorded what is arguably the greatest country album of all time, Behind the Walls of the Folsom Prison, in 1968. Now, decades later, Jelly Roll is taking a page out of the Man in Black's playbook, recently performing with some of his closest friends for inmates at the Davidson County Correctional Center. And unlike Johnny Cash, Jelly Roll has actually done time at the prison, having famous run-ins with the law as a teenager. The famed lyricist saying he wouldn't be the man he is today without the lessons and skills he picked up behind bars. So stepping into the jail where he did time to perform for the inmates adds another layer to the full circle moment. After nearly 2 decades, Brandon Urie has announced the breakup of Panic at the Disco in a new statement. The vocalist shared a handwritten post on his Instagram revealing that he's expecting his first child with his wife Sarah, and his journey into fatherhood will mark the end of the band he formed in Vegas in 2004. Saying in part, quote, "Well, it's been a hell of a journey. Growing up in Vegas, I could never have imagined where my life would take me. So many places around the world and all of the friends we've made along the way. But sometimes a journey must end for a new one to begin. We've been trying to keep it to ourselves. Though some of you may have heard, Sarah and I are expecting a baby very soon. The prospect of being a father and getting to watch my wife become a mother is both humbling and exciting, and I look forward to the next adventure." U2 are gearing up for the release of Songs of Surrender, an album featuring reimagined recordings of 40 of their biggest hits. Ahead of the collection's debut, the band have shared a new version of their 1987 classic, With or Without You, that you can listen to online. Songs of Surrender follows Bono's memoir, Surrender, 40 Songs, One Story, where he shares insights into the making of 40 of U2's biggest hits. The album arrives on St. Patrick's Day, and pre-orders are ongoing. Sex Pistols bassist and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Glenn Matlock is going to be releasing a long-awaited solo album called Consequences Coming on April 27th. The music video for the first single from the album, Head on a Stick, is available online. Paul McCartney is releasing a photography book compiling 275 of his snapshots taken between the end of '63 and the beginning of '64, when Beatlemania was becoming a global phenomenon. 1964, Eyes of the Storm will be published on June 13th. The 35mm images are McCartney's personal record of the time and capture the Beatles' travels through Liverpool, London, Paris, New York, Washington, D.C., and Miami. 1964 Eyes of the Storm includes several never-before-seen portraits of John Lennon, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, as well as a foreword by McCartney and an introduction by Harvard historian and New York essayist Jill Lepore. And Nile Rodgers has confirmed he's currently working on new music with St. Vincent, taking to Instagram, sharing a photo of the two of them together, saying, quote, working on new music with St. Vincent. He went on to describe St. Vincent as, quote, so real deal, and called the experience fucking wonderful. Nile Rodgers is getting ready to receive the Special Merit Award from the Grammys this weekend. The Lifetime Achievement Award will also be given to Slick Rick, Anna Nancy Wilson, and Nirvana. And Hartford, Connecticut on May 16th. Episode 138, featuring Robert DeLeo from Stone Temple Pilots, is available now.